Hey class, just wanted to welcome you to LEAD 678, American College and University, otherwise known as the History of Higher Education in America. I just want to give you some structure and thoughts on the course itself. We will essentially try to cover about 400 years of higher education history in America. There's a lot there, and we to do that, to best do that, we use a mixture of text and a few articles, and we try to probe with different assignments and discussion board posts and other components to explore the intricacies of how our country has evolved and how higher education grew and evolved along that pathway as well. It's hard to not look at the evolution of higher education in America without looking at our historical unfolding as a country through all the ups and downs, the goods and the bads, the turmoil, the growth, all those types of things. The way we'll structure the class is really the first half of the course. We'll utilize the Thielen book. And that book's really a seminal work on higher education history. Giving you a little added context, there was a neat book by Rudolph undertaken to try to create a history of higher education. That was published in 1962. It was not intended to be a book. It was more of a project, and then so many people saw what Rudolph was doing and really encouraged him to turn it into a book. But it stopped in the early 60s, and it was more story based. Thielen, who's actually a professor down at University of Kentucky, then undertook this next kind of version of what is that next book that goes forward from it doesn't stop at the 60s, and he created one. He's now on the third edition of that book. Takes it from the founding of Harvard in 1636 and brings it all the way forward to present day. It's a really good book. It's a good basis structure to understand the whole evolution of higher education history within our country. Has some story components to it. It's broken up like a textbook would feel, chapter by chapter, things like that. So the first half of the course, we'll use that book, and we'll layer in one or two articles. Not a ton of articles because it's a lot of reading, I know, to get through, and some of this is a little bit dense. And then the second half of the course, because we are going through so many really centuries of higher education history, and it's hard to drill down on individual stories sometimes. The second half of the course will be a thematic analysis, and that's going to structure itself around three topics that are worth doing a deep dive, and those three topics will have subsets of books underneath them, and you just choose one book out of any of those three topics. So I'm not asking you to do three books, one in each topic. I'm asking you to do one book, one topic, but I do give you multiple choices of books within each topic. So we're going to take a look at the experiences of athletics and its connection in higher education. We're going to look at the experience of African American students throughout higher education history in America, and we're going to look at female students and the evolution of the experience of female students in higher education. So, based on your interest, you can choose any one of those topics, and within those topic areas, you'll choose one of the books. So the second half of the course will be focused on the book that you choose to explore, and we'll have kind of a scaffolding set of assignments in the second half that build and build and build to the final piece. So just wanted to explain that a little bit better. Within course construction, I try to build everything so that you have a week by week layout of all the assignments, what to read, any links to assignments themselves. So that'll all be sitting there. Discussion board posts try to delve in a little bit within certain topics and tease out thoughts and ideas and concepts there. Then we'll use artifact descriptions. Artifact descriptions will zero in on you looking at a certain type of artifact within a certain time period of higher education and looking to build context around what was happening at this time, at this institution, in this state, in America, in higher education. So you can kind of build a whole picture of what was going on around this object. And then we'll go a little bit further and do a historical topic reflection similar to a discussion board post. And we'll close out with a thematic analysis of deeper final paper there specifically. So just kind of wanted to give you those basics. The other piece I will definitely do a welcome announcement email every week, kind of laying out what's ahead and any thoughts in between. I'll usually pepper in other announcements throughout, sometimes a week as well. I'm going to be intentional with touch-based components. I'll use a mixture of Blackboard Collaborate as well as Google Meets. Blackboard Collaborate, I'll probably do 1 or 2 sessions throughout the course just as connections based on certain assignments that might be upcoming, just to ask questions, things that affect. Google Meets will serve as an easy way for us to sit down for a few minutes. It's kind of like office hours. So while the syllabus does say I'll hold like standard kind of office hours thoughts through Google Meets on Thursdays, it's whenever it works for you. So you just shoot me a note that, hey, I'd love to sit down for 10 minutes. Just talk through something, understand what the assignment is a little bit better, talk through maybe your thoughts or questions as you're trying to feel out which direction you're trying to go on an assignment, anything like that. Issues, things, concerns with life that are coming up, those are definitely worth a Google Meet chat. So basically, you just send me a note. We'll schedule a time between the two of us. I'll send you the link, and we'll hop on and we'll meet there specifically. So those are those structures of how it'll facilitate itself per se. So I just want to connect with you all a little bit, welcome you to the course, and let you know that I'm available through email, through phone call, through Google Meet. If you're on campus, if you're actually here in the state of Kentucky, happy to meet up. And you just reach out to me and we can set up a time and connect from there. So really the main goal there was just to connect a little bit and talk through the initial structure and thoughts of the course and basic review of the assignments. And then as we go along each week with different assignments, I'll do more individualized explanations of the types of assignments and things that affect, give a more deeper explanation of each assignment in the weekly announcement than what's in the syllabus, things like that. So again, I want you to be flexible, I want you to be open, I want you to reach out to me and connect with me whenever you feel about things so we can explore any of your concerns. So with that, you have the opportunity to embark on this journey and learn a little bit more, get some full context, and understand that oftentimes with the history of higher education, it is somewhat cyclical. So what may seem new now usually existed 100, 200, 300 years ago in different forms and fashions based on our technological adaptations and other experiences. But I think you'll find that the old adage that history repeats itself is sometimes similar, and I think this will be very helpful for you to just kind of have a different eye, a different lens as you explore your careers in higher education. So I will go ahead and close out from here, but look forward to working with you all. Thanks.